Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today I just want to share a story with you because I had my mom stay with me. She's not a Muslim, and she's not even a Christian, to be honest. She's like, I believe in God, but I don't know which one. Anyways, cultural Christian. And she was telling me about these huge cases in our small town in Slovakia where she lives. So basically, she has a friend like in her 50s or 40s, like a woman, and she is dating a priest. So the priest, the Catholic priest, and a Catholic priest obviously cannot have a wife. He cannot engage in sexual interactions or whatever, right? So this is strictly prohibited, called celibacy. And this guy is basically dating this friend of my mom. And what is crazy is that they actually go and meet she goes with him to meet his parents, and he goes with her to meet her parents, and they love each other. And they have like a WhatsApp chat where they chat, and he's basically doing a sermon or something, and he's complaining like all these old ladies are giving him money, and he's like annoyed by them. And it just baffles my mind that this even exists, and my mom was very confused, like how this can be even done, because she even said, like, isn't this guy scared that he's gonna burn in hell, like based on his like morality? Like, this is not allowed. So it's one way if you feel shame about your own behavior, right? So if you feel like, oh, this is wrong, I shouldn't be doing it, and I just can't stop myself, I'm too weak, that would be one way. But this guy is not even like regretting it much. And what's worse, there's another kind of priest, like a more senior priest in the same, I don't know, organization where this guy is. And this guy is more older, so he's like 60. He's very fat and ugly. And what he does, they send him young priests from Poland, so around 15 or 20 years old. And they also have a WhatsApp group. And they send these people who are kind of like linked in, they are both deviant sexually. And so they send him these young priests, and he is having sexual relationships with them. So he's not having relationships with boys necessarily, but with young priests who are also in that kind of thing. And then they rotate them. So every 2 years, when there's a scandal, so they move them from one city to another. And this first priest, he actually has two other girlfriends. And subhanallah. And this other guy, what he does, this old fat man who has sex with young priests, it's in my town, actually, happening near my town. He is like collecting money from the church, of course, because every Sunday ask for money. And we asked also, I also ask, because I'm kind of a priest, right? I'm an imam, so I'm also asking for money. And old ladies, sorry, apologies, I had to get my daughter, she was screaming. Where was I? So this priest is having sex with young priests and collecting money for his new car, and also to buy him like a cabin or something, which is super crazy, because that's like you're getting money from believing people to essentially take it for your own benefit. Like, it's crazy. And so that's insane, right? And my mom was baffled, but these are supposed to be like guys who did went to school and went through some course, and not got the ijaza, but got the Catholic, I don't know what's it called, but you go through a ceremony where they give you this, and you're like anointed, right? So it's pretty big deal. You should have more Christian taqwa in a sense than the normal regular believer. But she told me this is happening. Every one of the priests, either a girlfriend or a young priest, whatever. So that's pretty crazy, right? And I'm not here to discuss the celibacy, because I think it's, of course, ridiculous. And the other Christian churches don't have it, so it's applying to Catholics. But the point of the video is not to just bring down Catholicism, because I used to be a Catholic. But this is also a reason why reality is very important. How in reality the religion functions, and it's a pretty big negative point, definitely. But what's crazy is, my mom was saying that I was thinking about you. So it was kind of nice dawah, because she said, I was thinking about you because, these guys are priests and they are not following the basics. They are going against the religion, being straight shaitans, and they are like in leaders of communities, and you are just a regular Muslim guy, and you're always watching your time when you pray, when you fast, and all this, and trying to be on deen and covering your knees and all that. Like, and I was like, yeah, it's just basic stuff, right? And she was like, yeah, but that's like something's wrong with them. Like, and I said, yeah, because like I believe what I believe, and they probably don't believe it, or they don't care. Because if they would believe, they would probably act with some, even if they would do something wrong, they would kind of feel bad about it, and it wouldn't be so public, or it wouldn't be this like, yeah, they wouldn't have this behavior. But they know they can just live off old ladies, because Christianity is basically an old lady religion at this point. Young people are gone and men don't attend services. So anyways, it was crazy. So my mom was just saying like, I'm so happy you're a Muslim. I'm so happy you have the spiritual path. I'm so happy you are practicing your religion. So it makes you like better. You have morality. So it prevents you from these things. And of course, I'm making mistakes, and I sometimes swear, or I do some stuff, and I'm not perfect by any means. I have so much sins that I truly hope that Allah will forgive me, inshallah. But this just seems too out there for me. And there's another priest. This is insane. My other auntie, she works in like a psychiatric hospital, and she's she's seen a priest going there. He was locked up because he was danger to the public. And what happened is they found a briefcase with some sexual toys, but it was aimed at like young kids. And he was like super intelligent, so she was like speaking with him, and he didn't see anything wrong with it. Like he was just like not having anything wrong, but like he was like seriously dangerous to be in public. So they just lock him up in a cell. They don't even allow him to get out. And imagine, he was a priest. That's crazy. And this is not a coincidence. This is not something that happens in isolation. There's a pattern here, right? And again, this doesn't mean this is not my criticism of Catholicism, because my criticism would be theological, because even Muslims do horrible things. Even Muslims have problems with behavior, and sometimes it's huge issues. So you can pick that as well, and I don't want to make it about that. It's more about, my mom just looked at it like, these guys are so crazy, and they lead these Christian communities. That's why no one's in my family anymore Christian, because they just see through this. And you, like a regular Muslim guy, just kind of like, you don't do anything like that. And she was pretty amazed by that. So it was nice. It was kind of first time where she opened up about that. Like she was maybe it would make sense to her, like, yeah, because I'm following the truth, so that kind of means you change your behavior. That's kind of the point of Islam, to do moral investigation of your own self and do tazkiyah nafs. And qad aflaha man tazakka, who doesn't purify himself, the one who purifies himself will be successful. So this is the point. The point of Islam is to change you and your behavior. And that is the point ultimately. Like, if you start praying, that's great, but like if you haven't changed, then you still have a lot to work on, and I'm still working on myself. So the change of your behavior is the key part of Islam. It's integral. You have to show in behavior that you're different. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You can call yourself Muslim, but like to other people, if you drink, if you party, if you're gonna do whatever everybody else doing, then they will just view you as this priest. Like, you're a hypocrite. Like, how can you call yourself Muslim? You're not even praying. Like, this is nonsense. So you gotta change, and you gotta show that, hey, this is real. This is reality. And I think that's great. This is great dawah, especially to family. It takes years, but essentially they'll come around and see, like, this makes sense. Anyway, so the video is about this. Leave me a comment below. And again, there are many Christian churches who allow marriages between the priest and a woman, so this doesn't happen there. But in Catholicism, this is a pretty big problem, and that's the major Christian like faith tradition. So yeah. Anyways, I guess that's all. So yeah. Hopefully you're doing well, and we'll be in touch with some updates. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.